Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a top 5, and this is the top 5 brawlers, in my opinion. My pick for my favorite brawling ships in this game. Now there are a ton of brawling ships, and I'm actually planning on doing like a tier list of all the brawlers in this game to see which one is the best. Here we're looking at the A gear, no particular reason, just looking at it. Now, there are a lot of ships in this game that are good at brawling, so if your favorite doesn't show up here, just know that this is my personal list, and you know, there's no particular reason why I pick something over something else, let's say, but yeah, just know that this is my list, and the whole idea of a top 5 is that you guys can ask me, what the fuck, why'd you put that there, or vice versa, and I would love to hear what your guys' top 5 picks are, because like I said, there's a lot of brawlers, and some of you are going to be surprised that some ships don't show up on this list. So let's get right into it. Alright, so here's the first one, guys. Number 5 is actually a heavy cruiser. It's the Mainz. Now, the reason I put this in a brawling list is because of many times where I've played Mainz, been jumped by something, or jumped into a fight versus a battleship and come out victorious. That, to me, is the definition of a brawler. Now, why can Mainz brawl? Well, first off, you have really good guns, and your AP, of course, because you're a German, is very solid. This Mainz can pretty much penetrate anything in this game. I think the only ship that I've had trouble dealing with in Mainz is Atlantico, because your HE is pretty bad, and Atlantico is just super tanky. But if you are precise and you aim well for bow or stern, you're gonna get full pens most of the time with anything. Along with that, destroyers just disappear with this ship. You saw that, I think it was an Akitsuki or Akatsuki in the beginning of the game, we delete them. So along with being a really good long-range fighter, this thing can also go toe-to-toe with pretty much anything at the tier in close range, because you have so many torpedoes. You have 10 per side, or is it 8 per side? I can't really remember, but nonetheless, you have torpedoes with those close-range engagements. Yes, they are short-range, but they're not meant for long-range engagement. They're meant for those close-range fights. I remember in Rule of the Waves, the previous one, not the one we just had, but the one before that, where a Russian team won, and we saw a Mainz going head-to-head with battleships at 2-kilometer distance. Can't remember who the player was, but I remember people going crazy, and that is just a testament to why Mainz is a brawler. This thing can go toe-to-toe with anything, and that's why it's number 5. So in a normal list where the top 5 ships, Mainz would probably be number 1 on this list, because Mainz is just such a good ship. I mean, I'm pretty sure Sly just got the world record in it. I saw he posted a video about it, so congratulations, Sly. Was it 158,000? It's just a testament to say Mainz can handle its own. And before we go on to the next ship here, we're gonna finish off this Akitsuki. Just look at that. Good dispersion, rapid reload, good pen, and he's gone. So yeah, Mainz is the number 5, and now on to number 4. Okay, so next up for me, we have 2 ships, because they're sister ships. It is the Scharnhorst and the Gneisenau. Now, out of the 2, I don't really know which one I prefer. The gameplay you're watching is obviously Scharnhorst, but that is because it's a premium, and I was thinking to myself, well, if I'm gonna get gameplay for this, I would rather play on a premium to get extra resources. Pretty much came down to that. Now, when I'm talking about these, I'm talking about both of them, because I think in reality they're pretty similar. I mean, they have the same skill sets, and the only difference is the guns. On Scharnhorst you get these, I think it's 283 or 280. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But the Gneisenau gets 380 millimeters. Scharnhorst has 9 guns, Gneisenau has 6 guns. So it's really down to personal preference. But what I love about these ships is, first of all, they were built in real life, and they actually had real-life combat engagements with the Royal Navy a lot. There was the Channel Dash as well. If you guys haven't heard about the Channel Dash, it's when Scharnhorst, Gneisenau, and some other German ships made the dash from the harbor of Brest in France to, well, somewhere in Germany. I'm guessing Hamburg. So, yeah, it's a really cool ship. I remember playing the Gneisenau as one of my first ever ships in this game, grinding up to it, being really excited, as we just see this Nevny here completely fail his torpedoes. And we're going to show him how it's done. There you go, boom. But I remember playing Gneisenau and just being absolutely in love with the playstyle. These things can brawl, and if you get into a tier 6 game, you're going to have a blast. Something like a Normandy here, man, he can't do much to us. At this distance, he's pretty much toast. They do have some downsides. They have horrific dispersion, especially Gneisenau and Scharnhorst. I feel like the Scharnhorst, some reason, has worse dispersion. That could be because the guns feel weaker. They're smaller caliber, almost 100 millimeters smaller. But I don't know. Gneisenau guns feel really good. Scharnhorst guns not so good. But anyways, I just love these ships. And if you don't have them, if you feel like, oh, should I get the Gneisenau or the Scharnhorst? Save your money, get the Gneisenau, man. It's a really fun ship. And guys, I have a video of me maxing out Gneisenau coming up soon, where yeah, putting Franz von Hipper, all the good stuff on it, and seeing what we can do. In this gameplay you're seeing right now, I actually am using Franz von Hipper, so this is what Scharnhorst looks like with that commander. Pretty good. And a solid tier 4 placement, not tier 4, a solid top 4 placement for my personal brawler list. When I want to go brawl, I have a tendency to pick out the Scharnhorst and Gneisenau. Also just because they're tier 7, and if you get into tier 6, you're gonna have a blast. I mean, look at this Ryojo here. Jack's about to have a bad day. You guys probably didn't think I would put a CV on this list, and even so high on the list. But I'm gonna have to eat my own words here, and if I do play a CV, it's this one. But I don't classify a Graf Zeppelin or Black Graf Zeppelin as a CV. I classify this as a aircraft carrying cruiser. Just like the Russians in real life classify their one and only aircraft carrier. It's like that. You have crazy armaments and you have the ability to send out planes. This gameplay you're watching is Battle versus AI, because, like I said, I don't like playing CVs, and I want to stick to, you know, my what's it called? My values of not liking CVs, because it's true. But if I were to play one, and if I wanted to have some fun in a brawling ship, this is the ship I'd pick. I absolutely love playing Graf Zeppelin, and doing what we're doing right here it's therapy to me. This is just such a troll ship in its own right, but it actually works, and especially if you have the black version like I do here, that has the rapid reload 2 instead of precise aim. It's just a monster, man. Getting into close range, getting all sides of your secondaries going, and just spamming this deadly AP is so fun, man. I have played a bunch of Graf Zeppelin games. So many that, in fact, I do have a max level commander on this ship, but it's been a long time since I played it. I think I have one gameplay on my channel where I actually get 6 kills with the Manfred. That's the last time I played a CV for fun. So it feels good sometimes to come back and play this, because it is not really a CV, it's a cruiser. And if you don't have it, guys, the normal Graf Zeppelin compared to the black one, they're pretty much similar. The black one is better, but it's marginal. It really is marginal. So yeah, a CV made it to my top 5 list of brawlers, but I guess you guys can see why. So yeah, leave a like or a comment if you want to see a full game of me trying to get 100k in Graf Zeppelin. Oh, goddamn, I just realized that's really hard. Imagine that, 100k challenge Graf Zeppelin, no planes. That's gonna be difficult, bro. But yeah, let's move on to the number 2 spot. So, here we are at the number 2 spot, and I think a lot of you guys are like, what the fuck is he talking about? How can Schlieffen be number 2, and what's number 1? Well, there's a reason Schlieffen is number 2, and it basically is the fact that Schlieffen has a very hard time in the tier it's in. The fact of the matter is, Schlieffen is a full-size battleship, but it doesn't have the armor. And because you're a full-size battleship and you're German, if you're facing an aircraft carrier like Midway or Malta, you're not gonna have fun. And the biggest issue I have with Schlieffen is actually getting into these fights we're in right now, where you can use all your armaments and your secondaries, everything. Most of the time you get encounter like we're playing here, there's a CV in the game, and you're just not very successful because you're so big and you don't really have a speed boost, or you don't have, you know, the best turn time. You're a big ship. It can be hard to play sometimes. But that being said, Schlieffen is the most powerful brawler in this whole game. Obviously, it has so many armaments, and they are very long range, all the secondaries. You also get torpedoes. So, on paper, this is the best one. Statistically speaking, I think this is the most powerful brawler in the game. There are many of them out there. I mean, we got Preußen, GK, Aegir, Siegfried, Admiral Scharnhorst, the Choder. There's so many, but Schlieffen is the best one. But it definitely has drawbacks, and I think that it has to do with the meta of this tier, the high tier. It's just difficult to play brawlers. But nonetheless, it's a super fun ship, and I'm gonna keep this one going till we reach this Montana here, because this was a pretty crazy game. Not crazy, but we got to do some brawling, which is what I love to do. So I'll skip ahead till we get closer to this Monty here. Now, the Schlieffen is, you know, it was my favorite battleship for a long time, and it still is. For fun factor, this is just S-tier fun ship. But yeah, like I said, the troubles you face are some of the reasons why it's not rank 1 or top 1 in this list. The top 1 ship is actually a very recent thing for me. It came about after Rule of the Waves, and I saw what the ship can do. And the reasons I love it is simply because of the different playstyle. We'll get to that. But Schlieffen here, you know, we're 12,000 HP versus this Montana. This is what Schlieffen can do. We took out that destroyer right before, easy peasy. With your sonar you should be pretty safe, and then you just hammer away. I like using HE on my secondaries because if they do damage control, you can set fires as well. He just damage control, but I mean my torpedoes are coming already, so he's got no chance pretty much. Look at that, we even took a full salvo to the bow. Probably not the best place to shoot, but boom, there it is. And Schlieffen definitely deserves the number 2 spot. Had it been 3 months ago, this ship would have been rank 1. But there is another one that takes the throne, and let's get right into that one. So, here we are at the number 1 spot, and we're actually fighting a Schlieffen, and this is the Admiral Scheer. This thing, after Rule of the Waves, I really opened my eyes after that tournament to why this ship is so powerful, and it all comes down to the speed boost. One of my favorite ships in the whole game is the Admiral Hipper class. Prinz Eugen, Hipper, Blücher. We don't have that one, but you know, it existed. Rest in peace, Blücher. You don't fuck with Norway, that's all I say. Don't fuck with Norway, man. But it's a combination, in my opinion, of the Aegir and the Admiral Hipper. You get crazy secondaries, 120mm autos and 150mm manual. So that's pretty much, you got a Mainz turret strapped to either side. So you're really good at dealing with DDs, and you get a secondary overload 3, just like a Schlieffen. But the problem I had with Schlieffen is, first of all, the size. It's very easy to spot, you know, it has good concealment, but at some point you will get close enough that people will see you. Scheer is gonna alleviate that problem a little bit because you get a speed boost too, and this thing can go, I think it's 36 or 37 knots. That is no joke. You're not very tanky because you are a cruiser, but you're more tanky than most other cruisers. And another ship I really love is the Aegir. It's not on this list because I feel like there are some better ones out there. Aegir and Siegfried are, I would say Siegfried is also a brawler, same with Aegir, but after the Scheer came out, it just kind of took away that spot. I feel like the Scheer is the perfect combination of what you want in a brawling heavy cruiser. You have the speed and nimbleness of the Admiral Hipper class, and you have the firepower and the tankiness of the Aegir and Siegfried. I really love those ships, but like I said, this thing completely dethroned those two for me. It's got speed, it's got firepower, its maneuverability is decent, and it's got good concealment. Right now, the Schlieffen can't see us. We're completely undetected. And another thing I really like, the speed boost just makes it so you can get into fights and get out of fights very easily. And that is a huge thing in brawling. When you go into a fight to brawl, there's like an 80% chance you won't make it out. Even if you know, sink your enemy, his friends will probably take you out as well. You're the primary target whenever you engage in a brawl with the enemy, especially if there's more than just 2 or 3 ships left. So keep that in mind, and that's why I find this ship is so good. Look at this, we're activating speed boost, we're ready to get in there. We have 1 secondary overload left, and we're gonna use it. The only downside I have with this ship, and it's really, I mean, this is nitpicking, I would have loved to have another secondary overload. I think 2 is a little bit, you know, what can you call it? I wouldn't say I'm greedy, but it's a little bit too little, I think. I think having 3 secondary overloads would make this great. Because having to decide when to use it is just kind of, it sucks, man. That's what I love about Schlieffen is you have 3, so you know you can't really waste one. You already have 2 others ready. But yeah, here we're fighting a Schlieffen, and you can see the damage we're inflicting on this guy. It's no joke, and the reason this is rank 1 right there. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I would love to hear what you guys have as your top 5 brawlers. Somebody's probably like, why isn't Atlantico on this list? Well, I don't like playing Atlantico. I think it's actually not that great. It's super slow, not very maneuverable, and most of the time it's a noob ship, in my opinion. So yeah, not on my list, but I understand why some people would love Atlantico. I mean, it's a good ship. If you get too close to that thing, you're dead. So I guess you could say Atlantico is an honorable mention just because it's so good. But for me, as a guy who likes fast ships, there's a reason it's not on this list. I don't like going 18 knots or 20 or whatever, however fast it goes. So yeah, before ending the video, you're gonna get this brawl with the Henry. And again, look how much HP we have left compared to him, and how fast we just took away everything he has. These secondaries are crazy, bro. And this is even with I just have an elite commander on. I have Adelheid, who has secondary marksman skill, whatever it's called. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. My name has been Bobloon, aka Pabloon, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week or day. Or evening, whatever, whenever you watch this. Happy birthday if you have birthday today. Yeah. I'm signing out. See you guys.